What's up, 208 fam? It's Matt and Justin back out here, catching you off guard a little bit. It's Monday, right? We're watching a little bit of Monday Night Football in a Eagles-Packers game this evening. Hey, but we've got a lot to talk about. We've got ads, drops, trades, news, and I get it. It's kind of the back end of the season, and you're wanting to quit. You're wanting to give up. Don't do it. Do not give up. All you got to do is make the playoffs. We're going to help you out. We're going to get you there. So here we go. Let's get into it. Do all the things with the things, you know. Hit that like button, subscribe, helps the channel. But let's get into it. Justin, how we doing, my friend?
Good. Another busy week. Still pretty deep into football and wrestling. So, and then we have finals this week. So just trying to finish up just a little bit of the first try. But yeah, staying busy. That's for sure.
Right on, right on. We throw a little bit of fantasy football in there, and our plate is full. So understand that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Let's just get right into it. We're watching the Eagles Packers. Eagles up 3-0 in kind of a defensive game. Really not much in way of anything. Just some high level stats. Barkley 12 carries for 40 yards, and Jacobs 17 for 62. Hurts and Love have done nothing. No touchdowns, no interceptions. 90 yards apiece here in the third, and then just receiving again. Really nobody doing anything. So that's what happens in fantasy football, but you're loving the defenses if you played either one of these teams. So, Justin, let's get right into it, man. Let's move right into some news.
What's going on?
Plenty of news to talk about. What do you got, my friend?
So injury-wise, Jackson Dart, we saw him get concussed. Ultimately may not have led to the final straw in Brian Daboll's career as the New York Giants head coach. So he got released today. I don't think it's necessarily about him. He did get his pick at 2 quarterbacks. I think Jackson Dart was a good pick. And right now, Daniel Jones looks like the right pick. Might have been more of a organization failure on that side. But as well as we have Gadsden and Garrett Wilson both getting hurt. I think Matt said Gadsden just before the show that he's fine. He should be okay. Garrett Wilson is out 3 to 4 weeks. That is something that came across Twitter today. So he's probably out for a little bit. And then Dalton Kincaid had a hamstring. And then Devontae Adams had a oblique. So like maybe a little bit lighter week when it comes to injuries, which was thankful.
Yeah, certainly. I want to circle back around with this news a little bit. I do want to talk about Daboll. So what are your thoughts on that? Was that a smart move by the Giants? Should they have termed him with what appears to be an up-and-coming group? Really, Daboll could have, right? Give him another year. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think right now, I don't know how many jobs are open. Usually like 6 or 7 will open. 6, 7, right? I think that job is really attractive. You have probably a top 5 pick at this rate. You have what looks like to be a very good quarterback. You have a top 10 wide receiver based on Malik Neighbors. You have a really good defensive line. You have a decent back end with Javon Holland, and they have a ton of cap space. Like, I think that job's going to be very, very attractive to whoever gets it. I think wherever Brian Daboll goes, whether it's an OC in the NFL, whatever, I think he'll be a very good pickup wherever he goes. He is a little bit of the quarterback whisperer. I know the Daniel Jones thing didn't work out. I don't know if that was offensive line or they didn't have the weapons, so on and so forth. But he's the Josh Allen whisperer. Jackson Dart looks like mini Josh Allen at this rate. So I think someone's going to take a chance on him.
Well, I think that job certainly is open to really. How do I want to word this? That job is going to attract some very high level coaches. And do I dare throw out the name Bill Belichick? Do I dare do it? I think it's plausible. So who knows? I don't know. I do want. He gave the look. I do want to talk a little bit about Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow practicing on the sidelines this week. It's possible he could be coming back soon. If he's out there, get him on your team, put him on the IR, especially in the playoffs. There is potential for sure. So, and then I do want to talk about Bucky. Bucky, again, not good news. What we wanted is not what we're going to get. He's out week 11, and what I hate, the NFL is doing this more and more, and I hate it. we're getting less information than we need to, right? Than we want. Like I don't know. A lot of times you hear him say, "Well, fantasy football doesn't count," and I'm like, "Well, not really. There's a big, huge industry on fantasy football around the NFL that keeps them going." And we just have very, very little information about Bucky, to the point my understanding is it's not even his foot, it's his shoulder. So
Correct.
I'm a little bit frustrated that Bucky's not going to be out there. So we're going to talk about some pickups. You got to have White, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But frustrated by the NFL, especially with all the injuries and whatnot. I'm frustrated with injury reports. Could be much, much, much better. So.
Yeah, even with Tampa, like a few things, like they're going to play the Bills. Like they do have a upcoming, like they have a very tough schedule. They have the Bills, the Rams, Cardinals are decent, and they play the Saints and the Falcons. But I don't see any reason why they're going to rush him back. I don't think there is a chance to. Again, I think that first injury he went down with was an ankle, and now, like Matt said, it seems like the shoulder is the bigger issue. So he has two pretty substantial injuries, which is definitely concerning.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, please. Just helps us out. And we just want to help you win football games more than anything else. And if you have questions, please ask. Put a comment in and we'll see what we can do for you. This is the time of year right now where people get a little bit, "Oh, I'm not going to make the playoffs. I'm not going to get into it. I'm this, that, or the other." Maybe they lose they get a little bit sidetracked, right? So what I'm saying is don't get too discouraged yet. Your goal right now should just be making the playoffs. Try to make the playoffs. Give yourself a chance, and we're going to try to help you get there. Let's get into some waiver wire ads, Justin, and we'll see what we got. Justin, who do you have as a waiver wire ad for Week 11?
I think with, again, the injury to Travis Hunter, the Brian Thomas thing, I mean, I think I talked about him a little bit last week. Parker Washington, I think he's just a good run. He's just a good receiver. I don't know much about the Jaguars, but it seems like they're going to continue to get in these shootouts. And I think Parker Washington is a good, valuable flex play, good wide receiver 3 if you're in a 3 wide receiver format. I think he's going to continue to get anywhere from 5 to 7 targets as well, which is what you're looking for.
Yeah, certainly. And as I pull him up, I think he's about the only wide receiver they got right now. So, right, he's a guy that you got to pick up. The first one I have for you, and I hope you picked him up last week because I've been talking about it for 2 weeks in a row, but is Alec Pierce from the Colts. Started him last week in one of my leagues, so I'm just going to give you some stats here real quick. Targets, so this is the last 4 weeks, 10, 5, 13, 7. Those are targets. Yards, 89, 69, 115, 84. He's had 1 TD over that. So Alec Pierce has to be on your radar for a wide receiver 3. He has finished wide receiver 16 and wide receiver 15 the last 2 weeks. So hope if he's out there, make him a drop. You got to pick him up, not drop, but add him as much as possible. He is a guy that you absolutely have to get. So anyway, like him a lot. Justin, give me another guy.
So Matt already mentioned him a little bit, but just make sure. Go to every one of your leagues. Sleepers really has a really good interface where you can check the availability of all the players in all the leagues that you play in. Like me, as a psycho, I play in 7 leagues right now, so like that's a really fast way for me to streamline things. Just check if Joe Burrow is there. Just check if he's there. If he is, he needs to be picked up. They have too much volume, and I think they'll play him right away. I feel like they're kind of like the Ravens, or like the Ravens or the Bengals would make this last ditch effort to be able to make the playoffs, and they're gonna put it in Lamar and Joe Burrow's hands. So just check if he's out there.
Yeah, for sure. Another one, that player that I told you to pick up last week, hopefully you did it, and if you needed a tight end, was Cade Otton. Again, coming off with some pretty big points last week. I started him in the league, did very, very well depending on your scoring. Again, targets the last 3 games he's played, 9, 5, and 12, yards of 65, 40, 82, 0 touchdowns. But he did finish as wide receiver 6 last week. So again, if he's out there, he's going to continue to receive targets with that Tampa Bay offense. There's just not other wide receivers other than Ibuka. So you have to get him. And this isn't the first time that Baker has thrown to Cade Otton. It's kind of been an over type thing the last few years. So as these wide receivers come around, maybe it'll be a little different, but get it Cade Otton if out there.
Let's have one more
Who else you got, Justin?
So
yeah, perfect.
we have an injury, so that's usually where I go to. Devonta Smith just scored a 36-yard touchdown, so there's some points for you, Matt.
Woohoo.
There you
There you
go.
go.
Dawson Knox, I think whenever Kincaid is out, he seems to get a decent amount of targets. Again, that offense, it seems like Keon Coleman is picking up a little bit. Matt made a pretty crazy comment that said he thinks the Super Bowl window is closed. That Bills defense is awful right now. Like that's just where we're at. It's not quite on the level of Cincinnati, but it's getting there where you're starting to waste Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. You're starting to waste their pride, which is really tough because they're both, I think, generational players.
Yeah, for sure. Edits, how you doing today, man? I see you out there. Thanks for joining. Just giving you a shout out for sure. Things are going well today. If you got questions, please ask. We'd love to hear them. So, hey, Edits, good to see you. I have one more, and it's Tez Johnson is interesting right now.
Yeah.
The last 3 games he's played, targets wise, 9, 6, and 5, 58, 43, and 42 for yards. Again, I think another wide receiver 3 that you could pick up in the waiver wire. There's not, I don't think he's probably rostered very much, but he's a guy you could certainly pick up if you need a wide receiver 3 spot or a flex spot to help your teams out. So,
100%.
2 other guys I just want to talk about just real quick, Justin, to get your thoughts here. Sean Tucker with we talked about Bucky being out. So now we have to kind of worry about, okay, what do we do with Sean Tucker? If you are a White owner, you have to have Tucker. It's kind of bad because you have Bucky, you have to have White, and if you have White, you have to have Tucker. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I think either of them are going to get the work. I think maybe Rashad will get more of the passing game work. Sean Tucker's a good running back. I just wish he would get a real shot at it. But it feels like it's going to split. It feels like it's going to be more of a Baker thing at this rate where they're going to be throwing the ball a little bit more, relying less on the run game and just giving the ball to Baker and seeing what he could do. So I'm not super hyped on it with Tucker or White. I'd rather go get a DeMarcado. He's definitely more of a value to me because I think he will get the lion's share of the work. So that's where I'm kind of at.
No, that's fair. You bring that up. So just as a quick call out, Tucker had 9 carries and 12 carries, 42 and 53, did have a touchdown. I just think you have to have him if you're going to be part of that offense. The segue is perfect in DeMarcado. Again, I think he's just last man standing. So Trey Benson on IR, James Conner on IR, Bam Knight a little bit. He's questionable, kind of beat up a little bit. And DeMarcado kind of last one going again. So 14 carries, 79 yards. Last game, he only had 4 carries for 64 yards, 3 catches for 60. But he did finish as RB18. So if you need a running back, it's plausible to go out and get him. So keep that in mind. Anyone else that you want to talk about as far as picking up? We're just in that type of season where it's hard to. We're really scraping the bottom of the peanut butter jar per se.
Yeah. People are, I mean, I think a lot right now, like you really are trying to go after injuries that have happened to people. Like, is Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston going to start? I think if Jameis Winston plays, I think he would be a valuable quarterback option at this rate. But again, it's pretty low right now. Your roster should be pretty dang close to set for the playoffs if you're there.
Yep. Hopefully, if Jacory Brissett is out there, he's another one you need to roster. I know I wouldn't even say he had a tough game, but he is a good quarterback. He has finished very, very well in the last week of him playing. So in the last few weeks of him playing. So if he's out there, pick him up. Man, flying through waiver wire pickups, Justin, let's get into kind of what we want to talk about. And if you guys have questions, please ask. We're going to get into some buys and sells, and we're going to throw some names out there. And we want your guys' opinion too. But let's jump into that. All right, give me a guy that I'll throw out to you is Charbonnet. I watched Seattle play and I liked him. Are you buying Charbonnet? I know there's this Walker Charbonnet battle, but as things get close to the playoffs and they go to win games, and maybe they'll continue with that. To me, Charbonnet looks like the more explosive back, the better running back. And they got pretty equal workloads, but Charbonnet was the way more effective runner. Is this somebody you want to try to buy, or if he's on your team, do you want to sell?
It always felt like before we started the year that it just seemed like Clint Kubiak, McDonald, they both liked Charbonnet more. They both got the same amount of carries. They didn't have either of them didn't have any catches, so it's still split. But this offense is humming along, and that's what you like to see. I think Charbonnet at this rate is probably the more trusted back, even though they have the same amount of carries. Again, snap percentage isn't in Charbonnet's favor. He's still at 37%. Gotta check what Walker's was real quick. And Walker was at 44. So, I mean, Holani scored a touchdown. Like, there's a bunch of stuff in this offense, but it's explosive. It's a really good offense. Whether you have a share of Charbonnet, Ken Walker, JSN, okay, anybody along those ways, or Rashid Shaheed, I think they're all good buys. They are still kind of shaky. I would never put them in my RB1 or 2. They're probably always going to be a flex for me at this rate.
Okay, so the official answer is
I don't love it. I'd probably sell him.
okay. Sell Charbonnet. Again, if I'm selling Charbonnet, go find the Walker owner and see what you can get. Right. See if they can double up on that. Okay. Another guy that I want to pick your brain on, and this is one of your favorites for sure.
Oh, gosh.
What are you doing with Tyler Algier, who just scored not one but
Sell it.
2 touchdowns this
Sell it.
last week?
Anything in this offense that isn't named Drake London, sell it. That's where I'm at. Like, they don't know what they're doing. Drake London's just a man. Like, he's just a little boy and everybody. Like, they went out and traded for Sauce Gardner, and Drake London had his way with him. Drake London.
Yeah, if you didn't see that, put him on skates.
He's just a good receiver. I don't know what to say. Like, he's just really good at football, and it's really a tragedy that they don't have a good OC. And you can start to see the body language, the wording, the overall frustration of the stars, which is Drake and Bijan. So it's a little frustrating. I know a lot of Bijan owners are frustrated, me included, with his overall usage, especially the red zone.
So I agree with you. Tyler Algier, I'm probably reaching out to the Bijan owner, and seeing what I can get. He's probably he is the most valuable handcuff in fantasy football. So
100%.
See what you can get for that. I'm trading away Algier for sure.
Yep.
You talked about a potential ad, and I have him on this list. Parker Washington.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing with Parker Washington with that pretty good game he had last week, where he had what really saved him, right? So he had 3 receptions, 33 yards. He had a touchdown, 7 on 7 targets, and 2 carries. So he had two touchdowns, I think. What are you going to do with him?
Yeah. So after the Brian Thomas, the Travis Hunter situation, I mean, he has 26 targets in 3 games. I mean, I'm probably going to take that. Like, I like that. I don't think he's going to be I don't think the trade value is going to be a ton. Like, he's only rostered in about half of leagues right now. So I think he's a definite buy. Like, especially like PPR, like the targets don't really match up with the receptions. You wish he would convert a little bit more of that. But like against Las Vegas, he was 9 for 8 for 90 yards. I think you're still taking that. 7 for 3. I think he'll improve against the Chargers.
Yeah, I again, a wide receiver 3 if you need him. If he's somebody you don't need and you need to upgrade, you can sell him to another piece for sure. So, all right, my last. There's actually I got 3 others. So Breece Hall. Breece Hall has been on fire the last 2 games. What are we doing with Breece Hall? Do we trust him moving in as the second half of the season progresses? What's our plan with Breece Hall? What are you doing with Breece? Buy or sell?
Gosh, this is tough. So looking at his next couple games before we get to the playoffs, usually about week 13, 14, he's got New England, Baltimore, Atlanta, Miami, Jacksonville, New Orleans, New England, Buffalo. Like, he's got a decent playoff schedule. Man, I think before I saw this schedule, I was a sell, but I mean, this is a pretty nice schedule. Like, I don't know what you're gonna get for Breece, to be honest. I think you'd have to give me some players that I could trade for Breece, but like right now, he's definitely a buy. I think maybe the Jets are like come to the realization, Breece is kind of good at football.
Right now, he seems to be the only player. He's their whole offense right now.
And Garrett Wilson getting hurt will be interesting. I don't know if that helps or hurts this case because now we're going to have probably 8 in the box with Justin Fields and Brees. Or it's going to be like, hey, we're going to volume the crap out of this kid. Because Brees is a very good
maybe
pass catcher as well. I think that's one of the underrated things he is very good at.
And maybe Mason Taylor gets an uptick. It's very possible there. So who knows? But yeah, Brees Hall I think is going to be a. Go ahead.
AD Mitchell is that a guy that we need to watch out for? The guy that they just got.
That's a good call out.
I mean,
I think
could be a guy.
Yeah, it could be if Tyrod Taylor can play, right? If Tyrod Taylor is going to be a baller and sling it down to AD Mitchell, it's very, very possible. It'll be intriguing things to watch. So we'll put that on our radar for sure.
Oh.
Brees Hall, I think, is a guy that it's going to be really hard to sell, and I think to your point, he's going to be really hard to buy. I think you're going to roll with him moving forward. He was about this close. I mean, this close from being a Chief. So that was kind of the last hour. They tried really hard to get him, and they would not give what they were asking. So, moving on.
Josh Jacobs just scored.
Oh, there we go.
7-10.
Little much better third, fourth quarter action. What I'm looking for here out of Pittsburgh, Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren has been moderately decent. What are we doing with Jaylen Warren? Is he a buy?
Dude, I don't know if this offense is good. Like, I get the Chargers thing. Like, they lost to the Chargers. Like, I don't know if he's a good running back. Like box score, cheating, whatever you want to call it, 14 for 70. I mean, averaging 5 yards a carry is kind of nuts. Had 2 catches. I mean, that's halfway decent usage. Is Caleb Johnson ever gonna go anywhere? Like what? Like
not this year.
Like how is Kenneth Gainwell getting more touches? Like Kenneth Gainwell got the majority of the backfield work here. Like he got 52% of the workload and only touched the ball twice. Like this backfield makes no sense to me. It's very strange. But Jaylen Warren is the runner. Kenneth Gainwell feels like the third down pass protection. Seems like the guy that Aaron Rodgers trusts in that pass protection role. But I mean, someone's got to run the ball, and I mean, like right now he is the RB1. Like he is running the ball. It's just weird. Like you drafted this guy. Caleb Johnson was a second or third round pick, very good at Iowa, and they're just like, yeah, you're just gonna sit here. Like, I don't know, very strange.
I think he's a guy that you can trade for, and actually, he's one of the running backs I think you can get fairly cheap. He's going to be an RB2. He's not going to be an RB1, but we start 2 running backs in most leagues. So I think if you can get him for a reasonable amount, I think you go ahead and pick him up. So I might have to take 2 players. I don't think you can do a 1-for-1 with him. I don't think that's kind of how that works, but a 2-for-1 would be reasonable for sure.
Would you rather have Jaylen Warren or Charbonnet?
Warren. Yep.
Warren's probably going to be more consistent.
Yes, for sure.
Right. Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My last guy here. Here's my last guy. And this guy's intriguing. I'm not sure what to do with him. What do you do with Woody Marks?
Okay.
Is he a buy or a sell? He had 14 carries, 63 yards, that touchdown last game. 2 catches for 18 yards. So a fairly decent game in kind of a weird offense. He's this kind of not sure what to do with him.
Yeah, I think Woody Marks is a good player. Like that's where we're at. I didn't think he'd be that good coming out of SC. Joe Mixon has disappeared off the face of the earth. Woody Marks is getting 80% snap share, and I will take that all day.
And he's out snapping Chubb.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, well, if he's going to be part of this offense, and again, you guys have to understand this offense isn't very good. This is not a good offense in general. Their defense is phenomenal. Offense is very suspect. But I think if it's me and I can get the right combo off of this game, I'm probably going to sell Woody Marks. Give me really? Warren. Give me Jaylen Warren over Woody Marks.
Charbonnet?
I would, yeah, for sure. I would
really?
say no. I would take Marks over Charbonnet.
Okay, I think Woody Marks is a good player, and he was the pass game specialist at SC. That was kind of his calling card coming out.
Yes.
Again, Matt's right. Like this Texans offense is so far away from year one of CJ Stroud, and it is very, very strange. So I'm really glad I traded CJ Stroud away in Dynasty, and I traded him for Jaden Daniels. So I feel really good about that trade right now. Even though Jaden Daniels might not play again this year, like I feel pretty good.
Yeah. Let me throw some guys at you. Just again, one for one. This is straight across.
Okay.
Woody Marks or Travion Henderson?
Travion.
Okay.
Travion. Look,
So understand that.
Travion's a pot of gold right now. Like he is.
Yes.
This nuclear game? They're like the one touchdown where he's run he has that 80-yard touchdown, whatever. He's like looking back, should I score? Like I didn't think he was doing that. I thought he's like, you need to play me because of this right now. I thought it was like a defiance, you know, like you should have been playing me earlier. Like that's what I thought it was.
You know what he feels like to me?
Hmm.
He feels like to me is last year Bucky. At around this time when Bucky started to take off, right? Might have been just a couple games later, but it feels like a Bucky is like, yep. And we told you guys, hold on to him. We were disappointed in McDaniel's offense, what he was doing with the combo. But I hope this is what sparks it, and this kid could be a league winner for you for sure. So, all right, I digress.
Is scary. Drake May and Jackson Dart, I think were my two guys coming into the year, like young dudes. I'm just like dynasty wise, like I really targeted them. Like Drake May is a dude, and Travion Henderson, like me and Matt Chance, like we were all super high on him. Like love the fit.
Yeah.
Like that is a scary 1-2 punch right there. If they get a decent wide receiver, if they go out there and get a wide receiver, it's gonna be a problem in New England again for the next 20 years. Thank goodness.
I don't want to go too far into it because we can do a whole episode on New England, but they have some wide receivers. It's just putting it together. So, Woody Marks or RJ Harvey?
Woody Marks. RJ Harvey does feel like
Marks
Charbonnet a little bit to me with that J.K. Dobbin role. A little similar.
How about Woody Marks or Chase Brown?
Chase Brown, just because the offense. I think the offense is substantially better.
Okay, and I'm trying to find one more for it. That's pretty high up there. This one to me is a no-brainer, but I think we're both agree. Woody Marks or Judkins?
Oh, Judkins.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So good stuff. We have some good stuff here. Justin, give me a couple of trades that you have seen this last little bit, or even better, our watchers. Give us some trades that you've seen, or you're interested in making, or you need to make, or you're not sure on. I want to be able to help you guys out if possible. Let us know.
Let's see. I want to go into this real quick. Okay. Here we go. Whoa. Okay. So this is a 1 QB, full PPR. Woody Marks and Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota might start the rest of the year for Dak Prescott.
Say it one more time.
So Woody Marks and Mariota for Dak Prescott.
I want Dak.
Yeah, I do too. I am very much the trade proponent, and me and Chance were talking about this the other day. Is in trades, like I'm okay with giving up a little bit more if I'm getting the best asset. Like I want the best asset in the trade. Like if I have to give up 2 for 1, whatever it is, I will always want the best asset, and I think Dak is that. Let's see. So Jane Daniels might come back. I think he might.
Yes.
It's his non-throwing elbow. Matt probably knows a little bit more about that than I do, since he's somewhat in the medical field. Joe Burrows or Jane Daniels rest of the season?
Joe Burrow, just because of the better offensive setup.
Right.
Everything was on. The reason why Jane Daniels got hurt is he has nothing around him. He was literally trying to do everything. So it was unfortunate.
I think if I said this a year and a half ago, I think I would get canceled. CJ Stroud or Bryce Young rest of the season?
Oh wow, yeah, you would have. Yeah,
that's a real weird one.
Oh boy, I still have high hopes for Stroud.
Let's It's fair.
that one's filthy.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. What are you going with?
Stroud.
Okay. And I think this one's a fun one just because it's all about team preference. JSN or Jonathan Taylor rest of the year?
Woo-wee. Depends on structure, but man, it's hard to go against JT right now. And who would have said that a year ago? Look,
Yeah.
let me preface that even before a year ago. At the beginning of the season, Justin, and there's nobody said it, unless you're just a diehard fan. Nobody said that Colts would be this good.
No,
Not a
I thought
soul.
I thought they were going to finish last in the NFC South. I think that was my prediction. I'm sure we'll go back to it in the summer and talk a little bit about our predictions. But I don't know.
Let me ask you this one: Taylor or HN?
Jonathan Taylor?
JT or HN? Yeah.
Oh, JT all day. It's always going to be JT's going to be my answer to anything right now. He is the best player in fantasy football right now. And for people, we got in this big class discussion today with my government class because we talk a little bit before we start class, get a little competitive juices going, and they're like, Jonathan Taylor's only good because of his offensive line, and I'm like, get out of the classroom right now, and they're like, he's like a 7 out of 10, and I'm like, are you serious right now? Like he might.
They just started watching football a year ago.
I'm like, he might have. He is. This is better than, was it 2 or 3 years ago?
No.
This is better right now, and that year was scary.
It was very scary.
It's right there with Saquon last year. It might be a little better. That's where we're at.
Let me throw one at you real fast. Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
Or Dowdle and Adunze.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rico and Odunze. Justin Jefferson, I feel like that JJ train's gonna just be like this all year. It's gonna be really ebb and flowy.
Yep, I agree.
And I don't know if him and Jettas are on the same page. I have a lot of faith in what Ben Johnson is doing. I trust him as a play caller. I trust that he'll get Odunze the ball. I know people probably aren't happy with it. Caleb Williams looks really good. The Bears have played. I think people forget how bad the Bears were, and I think Matt can probably attest to this. The Bears, as an offense, were awful last year. They are substantially better this year. They came out with a percentage of Ben Johnson's goal always on offense is to never have a negative play, a penalty, whatever. They were 20% last year of those plays, and now they're 11.8. That's a significant drop. They're just going to continue to get better.
They are figuring out ways to win. That is a true NFL thing. That is a true football thing. Finding a way to win. So
yeah, and people underestimate it's really hard to win in the NFL, and you have to be thankful for those wins. As a Falcons fan, we have lost in so many creative ways. I think we're probably one of the first teams to have 4 turnovers and lose the way we did, which is really frustrating.
Super Squash, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for tuning in. This is a wonderful question. Who wins, Bijan, Waddle, Tet, or Breece, Olave, Genty?
This is hard. I gotta think about this one. I don't want to go with the Bijan side right away because I don't feel like that's the right way to do things because I love Bijan. Don't get me wrong. I just want to see where Waddle and Tet are at. So Tet is sitting at wide receiver 23. Jalen Waddle's wide receiver 10? Holy crap. What's Olave? Olave's got to be up there. Yeah, Olave's 11. Okay, yeah, I'm going with the Bijan side.
You are going Bijan. So,
yeah.
So for myself, this is me. I like the upside of the Breece, Olave, Genty side a little bit better. Now, here's the thing. You've got Super Squash. I think you have. It depends on what your team is, right? What you're constructing. I don't know which side you're going here, and it looks like you left. You've got a couple comments, and we'll review it here. But just for face value, looking at it, not knowing what your team construct is, I like the Brees Olave Gente, but it depends on what your running backs are and what wide receivers you have. So I'm gonna kind of lean over here and says I was leaning the Waddle side. He has a really easy schedule for playoffs, and I'm looking to make the playoffs. So be interesting what your record is, Super Squash. See if you've what your record is currently, and then I'm scared Brees, though maybe he locks in.
I think Brees and Gente are the same boat for me. They just have very scary offenses where I don't know. I think Bijan kind of outweighs that. Waddle is a focal point. Tet is a focal point. It's a really tough trade. Like for me, it's pretty tough. But Waddle, yeah, I'm probably going to lead the Bijan Waddle Tet. I feel like there's a lot less volatility there. I think Brees is pretty volatile. I think Gente's pretty volatile. Olave's pretty secure in his role right now. I think Kellen's doing a really good job. And that's one player we forgot to mention. Can we just talk about Shuck after we answer this next question? He's but I'm 6-4. Yep. 6-4. Have Hampton on IR. BTJ Chase on the bench. Yeah, BTJ. I don't think you're gonna get much out of him this year. That's just where I'm at right now with him. Chase Brown is fine. So you'd have Brown and Bijan, which is a fun duo.
Or are you trading away? Oops. Are you trading away? Who are you trading away, though, is my $1 million question. Are you which side would be gaining? Would you be gaining Bijan or the Brees side?
I think he's gaining the Bijan side. Anyways, while we wait for that, here we go. Trading away the Olave side. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I'm okay with that trade. With that trade then. Yep. Oops, wrong one. I agree with that. I think you're good there. You've got a little bit. You're trading away some depth here, so yep. I think that's a smart move. Like it.
Bijan has a pretty juicy next 3 games that I hope we can win. I don't know if we will, but I like that. Again, you can play a little bit more matchup oriented now that we're kind of later in the year, so I'd probably lean that Bijan. Like Chetsy's got to play the Chiefs, got to play the Chargers. Got to play better teams in the AFC West.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Shuck real quick, since that's one guy I wanted to get to. I did not think he was going to be good. Not saying that he is good. I'm not going that far yet. But he looks serviceable in a very terrible offense.
They're going to draft another quarterback next year, right?
I don't doubt it. But why did you draft him this year?
I think because they were uncertain what they had. They were really like, we have to have something. All you would have had was their Spencer. So
Rattler, maybe.
But that's all you had on the staff, because Derek Carr's out, done, and so they go and get Shook and Tyler and see what they have. So that's fair. You're right. He is serviceable. He had a pretty good showing. I think it's worth just bringing it up. He was 19 for 27, 282, 2 touchdowns. And no interceptions, no fumbles. So, super serviceable for that offense. That offense is rough in general. You have Olave and Kamara, and there's a chance next year Kamara won't even be around, right? And he's 30 years old, and he probably won't be on the team. So we'll see where they're at in their draft picks, but I'm certain they're going to draft another quarterback. And if they don't get a running back in free agency, they'll probably draft one as well.
Very true.
Give us another one. Boy, that was a perfect one. Super Squash 33. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that question. Does anybody else have a question about a trade? While trade deadlines are coming close, they're looming. If yours has not already been capped, there are certainly opportunities. Love to hear about you guys' teams and what you can do and hopefully make the playoffs. Again, that's all you're trying to do is make the playoffs.
Yep.
Just be in hunt. So
there's been too many times where I feel like I'm pretty invested in football until it's over. Like where I come into the playoffs and I'm 500. Like my team snuck it, but like we went on a roll to get in. And last year this happened in this league. I was like 7-6 or whatever it was. I was right at 500, and I ended up winning 4 games in a row and winning the championship just because. Again, you just need a ticket to the playoffs. You just need a ticket to the dance, and you just never know what could happen.
Yep, you never know. What do you think happens with Fields?
I think the Jets. Listen, the quarterback class coming out. I mean, given I'm pretty passionate about Dynasty. This quarterback class is gonna be kind of weird. I don't know how many guys are gonna say. Yeah, Mendoza, that should come out. Nussmeier. This quarterback class is not great, but there's going to be forced picks here. Ty Simpson could come out. I think Julian Sayin has to stay one more year. Dante Moore. There's a few guys. I don't know if the Jets just wait for this class. I think that's the next class coming in. They have all this draft capital. They have a good offensive line. I think they continue to invest in the trenches and maybe give Fields one more year. I just think that's where they're at. I wouldn't go crazy and try to get a quarterback right away.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, they won 27-20 over the Browns. He was like 6 for 11, hardly threw the ball, hardly did anything. So I don't know. I mean, he's just really not serviceable right now for the New York Jets. I mean, if you're in a super flex league or something, it's trusting. I think you're better off with other quarterbacks. I mean, if Flacco's out there, Flacco's serviceable for sure. Gosh, even sometimes I feel like Dylan Gabriel would be good. And I guess to your point, maybe Tyler Shook is just as good as well. So I hate to see it, but Fields to me is done. He's done.
There's going to be quarterbacks on the market, like Kirk Cousins could be on the market. Like there's just so many second tier, third, fourth tier guys that I think will be on the market. Like Bryce Young could be available. Like I don't know what the Panthers are going to do. So there's be some guys on the market that can be that bridge. Maybe it's Russell, maybe it's Jameis. Maybe you just have a little fun with that. But I don't think the Jets should draft a quarterback. I think they should really wait. But we'll see.
Certainly agree. Man, Justin, I don't know if I have anything else off the top of my head that's burning.
We got another comment from Super Squash.
Oh, wait, with you.
He's
All
starting
right, let's get him up here.
Start sit here. So he has Benungai, BTJ, and Vidal. It's a 2 flex, so I don't know which 2 to start. So Vidal is a must start for me out of the 3, for sure. Yes?
I don't know. I think Menungai and Vidal. I mean, how do you trust BTJ?
Yeah, which, I mean, tell us about the Bears running back situation right now.
So when Menungai, I mean, had a heck of a week, not this last week, but the week before, Swift is out. And so there was a lot of discussion. Maybe Menungai is taking over that backfield, but sure as shooting, right? Swift comes in and takes the majority of the carries, even though Menungai got a touchdown. I think, and we've been saying this all year, they're both going to be utilized in that offense. They're different. They're different players. So to me, I think you're better off. As I look up Brian Thomas Jr., who's out, right? He's got Menungai, BTJ, and Vidal. It's a 2 flex, so I don't know which 2 to start. Yeah, for me, I'm not even remotely. I don't even know if he hasn't been practicing, right? BTJ had practice all week. I guess it's going to be up to you, Super Squash. My thought would be monitor BTJ. If he's going to play, maybe you can throw him in for Menungai. If not, you're going to go Vidal and Menungai. That's my take. Up to you for sure, but just monitor it close. Your thoughts, Justin?
I would definitely swing the Menungai, but Vidal. I think they'll maybe go back to Menungai a little bit more. Again, BTJ scares the crap out of me, and zeros aren't the move for me. So I know Menungai's going to get some work.
Yeah, he went from 26 carries to 7 carries. That's kind of what I was saying, for 20 yards, but he did have a touchdown, right? So that's saving. They're going to get him the ball. He's not going to not get the ball. They spread that ball around a lot. Who's losing carries for the Bears? And it's been fascinating to watch because it feels like they're trying to showcase him a little bit, and he just doesn't do much, and that is DJ Moore. DJ Moore is going to be the odd man out in Chicago, and they'll trade him or release him after this year. They've tried all different kinds of ways to get him the ball, and he got hurt this last time. He had 4 targets, 0 catches, 0 points, but he hasn't had any more than like 6-7 targets in a game. So, kind of a side rant there, but yeah, I think DJ Moore is going to be the odd man out in Chicago next year.
Sure, it's fair.
Let's see. There's
So
one other player.
Anything in my notes that I want to talk about?
Yeah, it is unfortunate. Washington is one of those teams. Man, we had high hopes for the Commanders this year, and other than I told you guys in the very beginning, when Terry McLaurin held out, I said, "Do not draft Terry McLaurin," and I swear that snowballed the whole thing for Washington. It's just been not good one after another.
This could be a really big blessing in disguise for Washington to kind of have this kind of throwaway season with Jade Daniels getting hurt. I don't want them to play him again this year, even though I'm an owner of him, because again, if they suck a little bit, like maybe they get a Jordan Tyson, like maybe they get a really valuable wide receiver in this draft that can really help Jaden Daniels, someone that he can grow with and rely on, because I don't think Terry and I don't think Deebo Samuel are the answer. I think he really needs an alpha. Jordan Tyson is a dude. Carnell Tate has shown out at Ohio State, who's a big freak. I think those are two guys that are really good players that would really help Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they need another running back as well.
Yeah,
looks like
maybe Brees is that guy that they signed in the offseason, or they trade for Kenneth Walker. I think there's a bunch of running backs out there that they can potentially get. It is very hard to find an alpha wide receiver, and I think every young quarterback needs one.
I do like Bill a lot, but I think they just need another running back.
Yeah,
he's just not a workload running back. So anyway, how about the Bears overall? Do you think they can be playoff contenders? I certainly do. Of course, I'm a little bit of bias on that Super Squash, but I do think the Bears can be playoff contenders. They're just progressively getting better and better and better. I still think they're behind Detroit, and I still think they're probably a little bit behind the Packers. They're winning games solely off of their offense right now, and their defense is kind of So I think if they can kind of get the defense squared away, you have to play complementary football. That's every football coach in America will tell you that. So from Little League all the way up to the NFL. So, and if you don't believe me, just ask the Cincinnati Bengals.
Very true.
Very true. That's how that works. So, but I do think they can make the playoffs. We'll see. I'm hopeful. And then you had another question here. Back to the first trade. He's trying to offer Deebo instead of Tet. I don't know.
No.
Gosh, I'm kind of off the Deebo.
Yeah, Deebo ain't it. He's not the move. He's not the move, guys.
I'd rather have Tet. I think that's too much.
Agreed.
You're giving too much. Just barely, but I don't know who else he has. But yeah, I'd probably not. I guess if you're going to take that, then you have to take Olave off the table.
Yep, I agree with that. Deebo is significantly tiers below that.
Yep. So hope that makes sense. To Carolina, I want to pull up. I just want to see what his Tet is going to just continually to one of these is what's going to happen. He's he's getting 10 targets, 8 targets. So
he's just a good player. Just bet on him. He is very much in the mold of Drake London, of Mike Evans, of that's what his prototype's going to be. If he makes that level, I don't know. I have a little bit of bias with Drake London right now. I just think he's playing at a level that not a lot of other wide receivers are playing at. But Tet's just a good player, man.
Yes.
I don't know if Bryce is that guy, but Tet is a guy. He's very good at football, and he has something you can't teach. He's huge. He's 6'5". He's a monster. People don't move like that.
I did not realize he had that many interceptions. Just looking up Bryce Young, he's got 7 interceptions.
Yep.
And 3 fumbles.
And then
he's had a couple of 3 touchdown games, but
how many touchdowns does Tet have right now? 1?
Just real.
I know he doesn't have a lot.
No, he had a 2 touchdown game.
Okay, and he is the wide receiver 23 right now.
Yeah. So with no touchdown, Matt happened, which is odd. We actually thought it'd be the other way around when we first talked to him. He's going to be a touchdown magnet. He was going to be the red zone threat, and it's not happened yet. So,
He's
but he's
got.
getting plenty of looks.
I would love to see the on-target percentage. I don't have that right in front of me, but right now he has 77 targets and only 46 receptions. That is not a good percentage.
Nope.
So
Yeah, I
don't
wonder how
think
many of those are catchable.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it's pretty high. That's just my guess.
Yeah, we can circle back around that for sure and look. So,
Yeah.
Fun stuff, man. Let's get into. I mean, if people have more trades, please throw them out there. We're gonna kind of head towards these next week games.
Yep.
Let me get them pulled up a little bit, and then we have an update on the Eagles 10-7 with looks about 30 seconds left in this game. So, I'm gonna flip the box scores real fast in that game.
6.
Yeah, Barkley, not a lot, 60 yards. 60 yards on the ground, 41 yards in the air. Jacobs, 74 yards on the ground and a touchdown, and 33 yards in the air. Christian Watson, 3 targets. I actually thought he would get a lot more targets. Dotavian Wicks getting 8 targets in this game. So interesting.
Always have a random
classic
big sightings for sure.
Classic Green Bay. We never know who's going to be that number 1 wide receiver for sure. Devontae Smith leading the way for the Eagles. He's got 69 yards and a touchdown as well. So AJ Brown, not a lot, 3 targets, 2 catches for 13 yards. We are going to hear it, you guys. AJ Brown. It would not surprise me if we get complaints, even though they won. We're going to hear him being upset and frustrated with this.
He could be a guy that is the next New England Patriot. It was talked about a lot during the offseason. He's a big fan of that specific team. I could see the Eagles getting off of him, trading him for like a second or the third. Get Drake May, like a Stephon Diggs type guy, kind of boost his career a little bit. So.
Yeah, for sure. All right, everybody, let's talk about a little bit, Justin, what your thoughts on this next week. There are some really good games that we're going to have our eyes on for sure. But Justin, give me a game that you are interested in this next week.
Any game where I get to watch freaking the number 1 and number 2 quarterback right now, in my opinion, I think you put Stafford up there too. Josh Allen versus Baker Mayfield. That's going to be a good game. I think it might have the highest over-under. Oh, second highest behind Dallas and Las Vegas, but that'll be a good game in Buffalo.
Yeah, both teams 6-3. So that will be an outstanding game to watch for sure. I am looking forward to the Bears and Vikings, of course. Yep. Bears 6-3 over that Vikings. Now, here's the thing. The Bears are away. They're playing at Vikings. This is not a slam dunk game for the Bears at all. Nope. This is going to be a good test for them. They've kind of lived a little bit on coffee and caffeine, I guess, if you want to call it that. Some cardiac kids playing these last 2 weeks. Let's see what they do against a little bit better team, in my opinion, than the last 2 teams, especially a much better defense. So it'll be interesting what they dial up for Caleb, and we'll kind of see how that goes. We'll see if Justin JJ gets back on track against this Bears defense as well. So give me one more, Justin.
I think the Seattle-Los Angeles game is going to be so interesting.
Yeah, I was going to pick that too.
Offense has been really good. Clint Kubiak is drawing it up. Mac McDonald is killing on the defensive side. Stafford is probably your leader in the clubhouse right now for MVP. So it's going to be really fun to watch. Hopefully Devontae plays. Devontae, Puka, Kyron go against that Seattle defense. I think that'll be a really fun game.
Yeah, both teams 7-2. That will be a great game to watch again in LA for sure. So, all right, another game that I know, and we'll talk about the Lions-Eagles game here in a second. But that Chiefs-Bronco game, Chiefs 5-4, Broncos 8-2. They're playing at Bronco Stadium. I am fascinated by that game to see what Mahomes does against a very, very good Bronco defense. So if Chance were here, he would tell you all about it for sure. Like, hey, whatever. But I think for sure you have to keep an eye on this game, especially the quarterback play of both of these teams. So. And then finally, the Lions and Eagles game. Both teams, looks like the Eagles are going to be 7-2, and the Lions are 6-3, playing at Eagles Stadium. That game will be interesting.
I think Detroit wins that game, but that's just me.
That will be very telling for sure. So, love it. Again, if nobody has any other questions, man, we we enjoy answering your guys' questions more than anything. You guys are going to agree with us, disagree with us, that's fine. We just love answering questions. We just want you to help you win your league. There are so many different ways to spin a fantasy football team and the different ways the leagues operate. And man, throw some stuff out there for us. Let us know. We want to help you win, like I said, over and over and over. Be sure to like and subscribe. Justin, any final comments before we get out of here?
No, we got about 2 seconds left of this game. I think it's going to be a kick by McManus, so it'll be interesting if we get this game into overtime. One thing to keep in mind, so the Lions offense has been a little skittish. Dan Campbell has taken over play calling duties, and we had that kind of explosion with him. So a little on the ups with any Lions players, whether that's St. Brown, whether that's Gibbs, whether that's Montgomery, whether that's Jameson Williams, Isaac Tesla, Sam Laporta. So just be aware of that. I think you see a little bit more of an uptick on them. And he absolutely missed that. Oh my gosh.
That's game.
He shanked the crap out of that
64 yarder, no good. So
yeah.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, hanging in with us again. We will be back. We might even be back later this week, and we'll see. Maybe we can get Chance on, and we'll just have more discussion about stuff. We'll have some updates on injuries, but it's so much fun hanging with you guys. Hope you enjoy the channel as well. What would you guys like to see? We were happy to do a little research for you. Just give us some feedback. But again, be sure to subscribe and like the episode today, and you guys know all about that stuff. So, all right, everybody, until next time, we will see you next time. Have a great night.